Alright, welcome back to Game on the Table. This is D-6, and before we get started here, I'm going to pull out a couple new threats. Strike Bomber. Oh, right, for reference, I've got 3 Don't Panics out of the deck. And second new threat is an Orbital Cannon. Alright, let's roll the first set of crew. Yikes. Never need engineers on turn 1, but let's see here. Well, I can definitely turn one of my engineers into tactical, which is going to be handy. And I'm certainly going to send one of you to the infirmary, other of you tactical. That'll give me 3 damage, so I can take care of the strike bomber. 1, 2, and 1 more for the orbital cannon. 3. I can use one of these medical officers to return from the infirmary. All in all, pretty good turn. Hey, early don't panic. That's a bummer. When there's fewer and fewer don't panics, you want them late in the game, but hey, we'll live with it. Roll for threat. There's no threats out, so nothing activates. Let's roll my crew. Alright, lock up a scanner. And well, there's nothing else to do. I'll just unlock this scanner with this medical tool and return the rest of the crew. New threat. Bounty ship. Okay. Let's roll for threat. Shoot. On a 1, it activates. So I'm going to lose all my shields and 1 point of hull damage. That's a rough opening. Let's see if we can handle this quickly. Okay, lock up the scanner. That's not really what you want. Let's definitely return you. I think we want to recharge the shields. And I want to actually send one of you to the infirmary, reassign you as a science officer. I'll stasis beam bounty ship. Don't use stasis beam a ton, and I'll return you from the infirmary with this other medical officer. So that'll help me maintain. Okay, let's roll for threat. X on a 5. Corsair activates. 2 damage to the shields. Okay, good news is I still got full crew. Lock up a scanner. Alright, so I'm going to do damage, that's for sure. Going to reassign one of you to do damage, that's for sure. And that'll give me 3 damage. What should we do? So my general rule of thumb is to clear hull threats, so I think that's what I'm going to do. 1, 2, damage to the Corsair, even though the bounty ship is admittedly worse. I'll use the 3rd point of damage to ping the bounty ship. And just to explain, if I 1 die in any one of these areas gives me 1 point of damage. A second die will always give me 2 additional. And that works the same for the hull repair. Shields, I'll just recharge all the way up. Well, should I? No point. Let's stasis beam the bounty ship one more time. We'll repair hull, get that 1 point of hull back. And yeah, because leaving him unstasis beamed, it doesn't matter if I have 4 shield or 2. New threat. Both threats. Alright. On a 2 reactivates. Thankfully, I have stasis beam, so nothing can activate. Wow, that would have been really bad. So this would mean roll the threat die. Actually, it does mean roll the threat die again, but effectively there's nothing else to activate because I've stasis beamed the bounty ship. Okay, got 5 crew. Doing okay. Need 3 damage. Clear this bounty ship. And instead of 3 damage, I get 3 scanners, which pulls out a new threat immediately. Oof, boarding ship. Return you. Okay. So I think what I'm going to do is clear the boarding ship with the tactical officer, which sends you to the infirmary. And I'm going to stasis beam the bounty ship one more time. Then use this medical officer to return tactical officer from the infirmary. Let's escalate cosmic exponentialism. And let's roll for threat. And on 6, nothing activates. Okay, let's try this again. This bounty ship has been out a lot for a large number of turns, and that's not good for me. You're cocked, so I'll re-roll you. Okay, so I only need 2 of you. Yeah, well, let's reassign. Oh, sorry, I'm using this commander to reassign you to tactical. This commander to reassign you to science. I use 1 science officer to clear cosmic existentialism, which allows me to place science officers in other places. I'll use the other science officer to clear cloak threats, and I'll use this 3 damage to clear the bounty ship. 1, 2, 3. Great, that was a really productive turn. Okay, escalate. Solar winds. So solar winds just sits out here, and on a 2, it'll just go off like a bomb where nobody knows the timer. Okay, and on a 1, it doesn't activate, which is great for me. Can't really clear it though, because you'll notice there's no number here, which means there's no damage I can do to clear it. Scanner there. Well, let's take this turn to just get our shields back up. I will reassign this tactical officer to medical, unlock the scanner. Okay, so hopefully we'll have a full set of crew next turn. Another Corsair. Roll for threat. 6, the Corsair activates. 1, 2 damage. And thankfully solar flare or solar winds doesn't. Okay, another scanner. Let's do what we do. Let's do damage. 1, 2, the Corsair, clearing it. Let's recharge the shields. And I think that's it. I think I'm not going to use these guys to unlock this 1 scanner. I'd be sending somebody to the infirmary, and it's not really a good trade. Comms offline. Can't assign commanders. Okay. Roll for threat. On a 1, nothing activates. Roll my 5 crew and see what I can do. Get these comms back online. Nope. Well, maybe. So that's a new threat immediately. Thankfully, it's only a fighter. So, let's send you to the infirmary. Reassign you as an engineer. Which clears the comms offline. That'll still cost me a crew member, but I can hopefully remedy that next turn. Use my 1 tactical officer, do 1 damage to the fighter. Keeping the board clear. Let's escalate. Strike bomber. Roll for threat. And on a 4, strike bomber activates, take 1 damage, but then also send somebody to the infirmary. So now we're really tight on crew here. Alright, don't really want to see scanners there, but okay. I think most important thing to do, let's reassign you to medical, bring the crew back. Let's stasis beam the strike bomber. And assault cruiser. On a 1, nobody activates, which is lucky for me. Okay, let's turn it around here. Well, I'm definitely going to take that damage. That's great. I'll use this commander to reassign you for more damage yet again, and then this commander to reassign you for yet more damage. And this is a little risky because I have no idea where friendly fire is, and when friendly fire comes out, all my tactical officers go directly to the infirmary. But it's the right time to take a risk. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points of damage I can dish out. So let's clear the assault cruiser. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll do 1 point of damage to the strike bomber. That's about as good as you can get clearing these high health threats. Shoot. Okay. Robot Uprising. 50% chance to send somebody to the infirmary. Let's roll. On a 4. No, but strike bomber does activate. Take 1 damage. Send somebody to the infirmary. So that's not great, but could have been worse. Could have been a 2. 2 would have been really bad. Shoot. Okay. So this is immediate new threat. And that's the Nebula, which takes my shields all the way offline. And then lock up yet another crew member. And unfortunately, I can't use this commander to do anything because there's no other crew to reassign. So we're in a bad place right now. Rescue telepath, so there's a rescue mission. The rescue mission doesn't count as a threat, so I gotta pull one more. Let's roll for threat. And okay, well that's bad. So on a 3, send somebody to the infirmary from the robot uprising. Nebula takes 1 damage. And luckily that's all that activates there. Okay, so I've got 3 crew still. Let's see what we can get done. Ooh, okay. So I'm going to say that what I want to do, I'm going to reassign medical, bring these guys back. I'm going to stasis beam the strike bomber and hopefully stem the bleeding a little bit. Yikes, a warbird. Okay, so these aren't all going to fit, I think. So let me just turn some of these sideways. Warbird does 3 damage through shields, which is real bad. Let's roll for that. On a 5, I think, thankfully, nothing activates except for the Nebula goes offline. Get my shields back, but they're at 0. And really lucky, nobody else activated. Okay, so we're in a very vulnerable state, but we may be turning the corner here. Okay. Well, I'm definitely going to want to get my shields back online, and I want to dish out some damage, so that's going to happen for sure. This is going to happen for sure. And now I've got a couple more crew. I think one of the most important things to do here would be, well, the choice is reassign to tactical, do more damage, clear other threats. Reassign to engineering, clear the robot uprising. I think the robot uprising is a bigger threat, actually, so I'm going to reassign to engineering. All right, clear the robot uprising. I'll use this 1 damage to clear the strike bomber. And then I'm left with a commander and not much else I can do, so done there. But we've cleared both threats that send units to the infirmary, which is really important. Okay, raiders. Now we've got a lot of threats that ignore shields, equally bad, and they're both going to go off. So raiders goes off, 1 damage, ignore shields, 1 hull damage. Warbird goes off, 3 damage, ignore shields, 1, 2, 3. That's really bad. Can't sustain too many of those. The fighter does not activate. Okay. That's a bad hole to dig yourself out of. And these are bad rolls, so thanks. Okay. So absolutely need to clear the warbird 1 damage. And then I think one important thing to do is well, clear whole threats, right? And if I reassign tactical, I can clear 1 of these whole threats, and I will do that. Reassign tactical gives me 2 additional damage. 2. And I'll use this medical officer actually to clear out this rescue telepath because at some point I'm going to want to do that. So this is one of the only defenses you have against friendly fire. If you're trying to decide whether or not to go deep on tactical dice in a turn, if you've got this card, you can look at what the next threats that are coming out are, and predict whether or not you're going to get hit by that. So, okay, pandemic, yikes. Okay, roll for threat. A 3. Thankfully, nobody activates. We got real lucky there. Okay. 2 commanders. through. I think I actually want to reassign this commander to tactical so I can clear this fighter. 1 damage. I'm actually going to use an engineer to repair 1 point of hull damage. And I'm going to use this medical officer to clear the pandemic. So keeping threats off the board, name of the game. Let's escalate. We've got a strike bomber. And roll. 1. Well, thankfully it cleared the pandemic. That would have procced, but as it is, it doesn't. Okay. New threat. Shield platform. Okay. Probably the best thing to do is just do damage. Yeah. Assign you tactical, do 1 damage to the shield platform. And I will stasis beam strike bomber. Let's escalate. And flagship. X. Roll for threat. 3. Nobody on the board activates. Lucky again. Okay, I've got all 6 crew back. We need to repair the hull. We need to do some damage. Oh, there we go. That's 3 damage. I'll definitely clear the shield platform. Well, you know what? Let's think this through. I could do 5 damage, which will allow me to do both of these threats plus ping the flagship, making it a lot easier to get rid of. If I did that, I'd want to look at, that might be the right turn to look at the next 5 cards and see if I can find friendly fire. Maybe not. I can also get a little more repairing done, because with 3 damage I can still clear the shield platform and ping either the strike bomber or the flagship. Let's just do damage. I wanna dish it out, and I will spend to look at. Well, let's spend. And let's look at the next 5 cards. So got a Don't Panic coming up. Raiders, Time Warp, Boost Morale. So we don't have friendly fire coming. Anytime soon. So this is fine. I'm gonna return you. Let's dish out 5 damage. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Great. Okay, let's escalate, which is the Don't Panic. We'll roll for threat. On a 1, nobody activates. Ooh, okay. Not doing great on crew rolls, but getting lucky on threat rolls. Speaking of bad crew rolls, okay, new threat. Raiders coming out. Turn those dice. See here. I'm actually just going to send you to the infirmary, set you as an engineer. Let's just get this hull repaired. 1, 2, 3. So we're in good shape to tank a bad hit. Let's see. Let's escalate. Time warp. And let's see what you got. On a 4, the flagship activates. 1, 2, 3. And the Raiders activate, ignoring shields. 1. So we did have to tank a hit. Let's go. Lock you up to the scanner. And I think it's important to just get damage out, even if it's just 1 point of damage. And then let's also recharge the shields and bring you back from the infirmary. The 1 point of damage will actually go, I think, to, let's do the flagship. Makes it that much easier to clear either one of them. Let's escalate. Boost morale. Technically has the threat symbol, so I don't have to pull another one. Let's roll for threat. And on a 3, wow, that is the only number to roll where nothing activates, and that is really lucky. Okay. Roll through. Put the scanner up. Definitely going to take that damage. Yeah, I'm going to do some damage. I'm going to send you to the infirmary to do some damage, and then I'm going to bring this guy back from the. So I've done a little shuffling. I've got 3 damage on the board. I'm going to clear flagship 1, 2, and ping the raiders. And let's escalate. Base pirates. And let's roll threat. So now 5 is a safe number to roll. Okay, that's lucky. That's lucky. Okay. 4 crew to roll. Can't say I deserve that. That was a really lucky roll. Let's put these guys out. So I think that's where everything was. This is not a great roll. This is not what I need to get work done. Let's let's send one of you to the infirmary to. Oh, now let's leave you medical. Let's do 1 point of damage with the science officers. The shields are holding. Clear the raiders. And then we'll use this medical officer to return from the infirmary. This is not a good use of crew. Not efficient. Way too many threats out on the board. It's a little sliding around. Sorry, my table's a little small. I'll lock one of my dice up into distracted, which is a real pain. Let's roll for threat. Still, 5s are the only safe number. And on a 3, thankfully, I do get this unit back from distracted. And you don't activate. What Space Pirates do? 1, 2. Okay, got my whole crew back. We got work to do. No, instead we're going to scan. Okay. Engineers when I don't need them. Let's actually we're gonna do 2 reassignments. What I want to do is reassign you to science officer. I'm going to clear the time warp, and then I want to use you to actually heal the hull, and maybe we can tank a 2 damage shield hit. Invaders, shoot. Okay, roll for threat. On a 6, get to unlock a die, which is handy. But I also do take that hit 1, 2 from the Space Pirates. Thankfully, nobody else activates. Shields are down, but no hull damage. Let's go. Shoot. Okay, 2 scanners. And actually, invaders is kind of a much bigger problem. So I'm going to set these both tactical and clear it, even though my shields are down. I have to tank a hit here. Mercenary. No threats activated. 2 damage. Let's roll. On a 2. Oh no. On a 2, Solar Winds activates finally. But I have no shields. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I really should have thought of that. But decided to not recharge my shields. And then, oh, a threat did activate. So I don't actually proc the mercenary. But I'm in bad shape. I have 3 hull, strength left, no shields. Only 4 crew. We need to get some defensive measures taken here. Great. So I'm going to do both of these. I'm going to recharge my shields. I'm going to repair my hull back up to 4. And then I'm definitely going to do 1 damage to the Space Pirates. unlock one crew member from the scanner. Escalate. Panel explosion. Can't place engineers. Okay, let's roll. On a 4, nobody activates, which means mercenary does. 1, 2 damage. Gotta get rid of this mercenary before the boss comes out. Let's roll. Here, I'm gonna clear my discard pile just to keep it neat. And finally put eyes on my terrible roll and be upset. Okay. Scanner out, new threat immediately, assault carrier. Excuse me, assault cruiser. Oh, that was a tactical, a commander and tactical. Geez, this looks bad. I don't think I want to use this commander. I'm just going to do 1 damage. I'm going to clear 1 threat off the board. Make it a little easier for me. Board rescue mission. Means I have to pull another threat. Friendly fire, which immediately gets discarded, but does send this die to the infirmary, which I didn't want. Roll for threat. On a 4, assault cruiser activates. 1, 2 damage, but thankfully mercenary can't. Let's roll my 4 crew and see where we're at. This is not where you want to be. Okay, I've got. Well, I can't use that engineer, but maybe I don't need to this turn. Yeah, I think I absolutely want to recharge my shields. That's a 4. I definitely want to do 1 damage, and I want to bring my crew back from the infirmary. If I want to do only 1 damage, I'm going to put the assault cruiser within striking distance of getting killed. Because the difference between 4 and 3 is I need 3 die, 3 tactical officers to clear a 4 health unit, versus 2 for a 3 health unit. The difference between 3 and 2 is actually kind of negligible because I still need 2 die, 2 tactical officers to clear a 3 or 2 health unit. Okay, let's escalate. Got Meteoroid. And out of 5, assault cruiser activates. 1, 2 points of damage. Nobody else does, so that's great. Let's roll through and really not get much done. Let's immediately pull out a destroyer. Great. Okay. Ooh. I think what I actually want to do is rescue soldier. This will be handy in case I roll that poorly again. And then I think I really need to look at the numbers. This isn't going to activate. These can't activate together. So at most I can take 3 damage this turn. I think what I really need to do is just do some damage. You know what? This was a medical officer. Let's just clear the panel explosion. We won't use this commander. I think I can sustain that amount of damage. Let's just clear threats off the board, clear complications off the board, etc. Gotta escalate. That's a very timely don't panic. That's when you want to see don't panics. And on a 3, the destroyer activates. 1, 2, 3 points of damage, but nobody else does. And I finally got all my crew back, and I've got a reroll. 1 precious reroll. Okay. So I can get my shields back online, which I'm absolutely going to do. I can repair my hull. And I think a smart thing to do would be actually to send someone to the infirmary, reassign you. And I've got 2 tactical. I'll use a leftover medical officer, return you. And I've got 3 damage to dish out. I think in my head I was like, I gotta clear the mercenary before the boss comes out. But then I realized the boss actually has triggers on 1, 2, 3, 4. Has triggers on all 6. So mercenary is actually not that big a worry as long as I can clear other things. So let's actually get the destroyer off the board because it does the most damage. 1, 2. And let's ping the assault cruiser down. So, so yeah, so I can get rid of it. Ooh, nope, can't roll my crew yet. Gotta escalate. Got an interceptor. Roll for threat. 4 interceptor activates, doing 1 damage. Assault cruiser activates, doing 2. 1, 2. And that's it. Alright. Scanner. Whole bunch of engineers. Do I want all these engineers? I can repair my hull. I think if I can repair 3, that would be great. 1, 2, 3. I don't know if I need a 4th one. Let's use one commander, reassign the other one to science, recharge the shields all the way up, and sure. This is a defensive turn. We're gonna overspend by 1, but let's repair the hull. New threat out. It's a scout. X. Okay. Scout's the one you want to get rid of for the blast, not the mercenary. Let's activate threat. On a 4, interceptor does 1 damage. Scout's going to do 1 extra damage. Cruiser's going to do 2. 1, 2. And there's my shield. And I think that's everything. So at least we're okay for now. Oh, oops. Not supposed to do that. Wrong time to pull a new threat. Need to roll my crew. So I'm going to shuffle the threat deck really quick. That was bad. And then let's pull this out. Roll. And, geez. Okay, new threat. We got a fighter. Not too scary. But what is scary is I have to lock up 2 more die. And all I've got is a medical officer. So, can't even get my shields back online. Most I can do is bring one of these guys back. So, oh, that would have been a perfect time. Oh my god, that's exactly what this is for. What a misplay. Well, that's a little too late to rewind. Let's escalate. Got an interceptor. Yet another interceptor. Turn these guys sideways. They'll fit. Roll for threat. On a 1, Meteoroid takes 1 damage, so now it's at 3, which is, I'll just leave it off. It's a little off screen, but it's fine. It's there. I won't forget it. Interceptor goes off, 1 damage. Interceptor goes off, 1 damage. Scout's going to do an additional damage, and that's it. Wow, that was a lot of damage I didn't need to take because I didn't re-roll these 4 scanners than I should have. Bad plays. Bad plays. Okay. Wow, moving too fast. Okay, new scanner. 1 scanner is not worth doing this for. Let's get your shields back online. You need them. Let's do damage to somebody. Let's clear the fighter off the board. And let's unlock one of these units. Okay, here we go. Hijackers. Roll for threat. On a 3, hijackers don't activate. Interceptor does. 1. Interceptor activates. 1. Scout will activate. That's 1 more. That's it. Okay. Okay, 1 more turn and then boss is coming out. They're in not great shape here. I don't even know how I'm going to fit this on the screen. Not a terrible roll, but not super useful. Do damage with you. I'll do damage with you. And then let's actually send somebody to the infirmary to do 5 points of damage. So now we've got the ability to clear a couple things. So I think really important to clear will be the assault cruiser. 1, 2. Got 3 more points of damage I can do. I can clear 1 of these. And I think if I had to pick one, I would actually just pick the scout 1, 2, 3. So that's 5 damage. Because effectively the interceptors are like scouts, except a 6 doesn't activate anything. But scouts, once the boss is out, will always activate. Let's escalate. This is my last round before the boss comes out. Roll for threat on a 2. Interceptor activates. 1. Interceptor activates. 2. And that's it. Okay. We're in terrible shape for the boss. We did make it to the end of the deck, but we are in terrible shape. And I think I'm going to have to spend this rescue soldier and reroll these 2 scanners. Oops, I dropped a die. Okay, reroll these 2 scanners. Thank you, that's better. Okay, let's definitely do a damage. Let's definitely get your shields back. Let's definitely bring you back from the infirmary. So 1 point of damage. What's important? Let's do 1 point of damage to shoot. I mean, to be quite honest, damage isn't really even that relevant at this point. I guess I'll do damage to the interceptor, one of the interceptors. Damage isn't even that relevant at this point because now, once the boss is out, it's just a race. You got to race to clear the core. So I'm going to futz around with this a little bit because this isn't going to fit. I'm going to put the boss first, which does kind of violate the way you're supposed to do priority. But just so you can see the relevant parts, because those are the parts I'm really trying to interact with here. And I hate doing this stuff sideways, so I might even clear my dice tray. And I'll just slide everything over and kind of keep it in screen. There we go. So we got hijackers. Well, I guess if I do that, I can do this right. Mercenary, interceptor, meteoroid, space pirates, interceptor. Okay, got my core. Missile array. Hydro cannons. So let's put those out here and here. Well, even that's not all going to fit. Let me sideways some of these over. And then I've got attack matrix and the barrier. So we'll clear the discard pile. So boss came out, time to roll. And on a 5, hijackers activate. 2 damage. 1, 2. And 4, no. Mercenary, no. Interceptor activates. Meteoroid, no. Missileroid, no. Interceptor goes off. Shields are down now. And recharge the barrier, but it's already charged full. Let's roll threat again, because the attack matrix. And on a 2, no hijackers. But the interceptor does go off. 1 damage. Hydro cannons do 2 damage. 1, 2. Not the other hydro cannons. Oh my goodness. And the interceptor puts me over the line and blows us up. So, I mean, I kind of expected that. I didn't expect to do well. I was in bad shape going into the boss. And honestly, my rolls were just way off today. Probably, I don't know how much it's really that relevant, but that mistake of not using my reroll when I rolled 4 scanners in 1 turn, that couldn't have helped. That was a pretty bad mistake. That could have put me in a really different position going into. So, yeah, that's I'm gonna take the loss on that one and say that came down to some bad rolls, but also I made some bad calls there. So, in any case, thanks for joining me. If you like what you saw, hit the like button. It tells YouTube to show my videos to more folks, and that helps me out a lot. You can hit subscribe and the bell to get notified of new content coming out. Try to put at least 1 video up every week of Deep Space D6, and then once in a while I've got some other series that I contribute to. Hope you have a good one. Until next time, bye.